For decades, Americans believed pickup trucks were built to last forever. That is no longer true. Today's trucks are rolling computers. They track you, they lock you out, they charge subscriptions for features you already paid for. And when something breaks, you are no longer the owner. You are a customer trapped inside a software ecosystem. Modern trucks are designed to survive the warranty period. Not your lifetime, but before emissions systems, before dealer-controlled diagnostics, before remote immobilization. 3 trucks were built differently. 3 machines engineered in an era when durability mattered more than data collection. No DEF systems. No clogged particulate filters. No subscription heated seats. No proprietary software controlling basic repairs. Just steel diesel combustion and mechanical reliability. And today, these trucks are becoming the last survivors of a dead engineering philosophy. This is the engineering autopsy of the last real trucks ever built. And once you understand what changed after them, you may never look at a new truck the same way again. The 7.3-liter Power Stroke built by Ford between 1994 and 2003, and the 5.9-liter Cummins inline-6 used by Dodge through 2007. Share something almost extinct in the modern automotive world: mechanical honesty. These engines were designed to work, not to monitor you, not to force dealership dependency, and not to become disposable after 150,000 miles. Modern diesel trucks rely on layers of software-controlled systems, electronic injection modules, diesel exhaust fluid systems, particulate filters, sensors controlling other sensors. One failed component can trigger limp mode, or completely disable the truck. But these older diesels came from a different era. Fuel delivery was based on pressure and mechanical timing, not encrypted software. A diesel mechanic with basic tools could diagnose most failures standing in a gravel driveway. That matters, because after 2007, everything changed. Government emissions regulations introduced diesel particulate filters and complex emission systems into consumer trucks. On paper, emissions dropped. In reality, maintenance costs exploded. The diesel particulate filter traps soot inside the exhaust system. To clean itself, the truck injects raw fuel into the exhaust stream during regeneration cycles. But short trips interrupt the process. The filter clogs, exhaust temperatures rise, turbochargers fail, and repair bills can hit $6,000. The 5.9 Cummins avoids all of it. No DPF, no DEF, no emissions regeneration cycles. Its inline-6 design is brutally simple. The injection pump can be rebuilt almost anywhere in America. Aftermarket turbochargers are cheap and widely available. Fleet maintenance records have documented original 5.9 Cummins engines surpassing 600,000 miles without internal machine work. 600,000. That is not marketing. That is industrial durability. The 7.3 Power Stroke tells a similar story. Ford overbuilt the engine massively. The block internals and cooling system were engineered with huge safety margins. In today's market, manufacturers optimize components for efficiency and production cost. Back then, they optimized for survival, and that difference still shows 20 years later. But even these legendary trucks have weak points. Before buying a 7.3, remove the oil cap and inspect for white foam underneath. That can indicate head gasket seepage. Check the up pipe gaskets for exhaust leaks. Listen for boost escaping under load. On the 5.9 Cummins, watch for lift pump failure. Ignore it too long and the injection pump starves itself to death. Also inspect the rocker arms under the valve cover on high-mileage engines. Smooth polished metal is normal. Copper-colored scoring is not. Simple checks. Simple diagnostics. No dealership authorization required. And that alone makes these trucks valuable today. Then there is the truck Toyota quietly replaced. The second-generation Toyota Tundra. Built from 2007 through 2021 with the 5.7-liter V8. This truck was not engineered like a modern fuel efficiency experiment, it was engineered like industrial equipment. The 5.7-liter V8 became famous for one reason. It refused to die. Not because it was technologically advanced, because it was massively over-engineered. Cast iron construction, timing chain durability, simple long-term serviceability, and a naturally aspirated V8 with fewer failure points than modern turbocharged engines. Then in 2022, Toyota killed it. The replacement used a twin turbocharged V6. More horsepower, better fuel economy, more complexity, more heat, more pressure, more things waiting to fail after the warranty expires. Even some Toyota technicians privately admitted the older 5.7 was easier to trust long-term, especially past 200,000 miles. The older fuel injection systems were also simpler. On early models, injectors sat outside the combustion chamber instead of directly inside it. That means less carbon buildup, less heat stress, and fewer expensive failures. But the second-generation Tundra does have one serious weakness: frame rust. If you are shopping for one, get underneath the truck. Inspect the rear crossmembers. Probe the frame above the spare tire carrier, especially in northern states where roads are salted. Soft metal ends the deal immediately. Walk away. A clean frame Tundra from a dry climate can easily exceed 200,000 miles with minimal major repairs. And unlike modern trucks, basic scan tools still communicate with the vehicle normally. No subscription diagnostics, no locked software ecosystem, no dealer permission required. That sounds normal today. In 5 years, it may not. Then comes the GMT 800 Chevrolet Silverado, built between 1999 and 2006. Mechanics call it the cockroach of trucks, because no matter what happens, they keep surviving. At the center of the GMT 800 platform sits the LS-based V8 family, one of the most documented and reparable engine platforms ever produced. Pushrod design, iron block durability, simple architecture, no unnecessary complexity, and most importantly, parts will exist forever. You will still find LS components decades from now. That matters more than people realize. Modern trucks increasingly depend on proprietary electronic modules that become unavailable once manufacturers move on. But the GMT 800 exists inside one of the largest aftermarket ecosystems in automotive history. Almost every problem has already been solved. Cheaply. The most common failures are well known. Intake manifold gasket leaks. Transmission clutch wear in towing applications. Both reparable by nearly any independent shop. No dealership monopoly. No software lockout. And if you want one, buy the most boring version possible. Work truck trim. Stock suspension. No oversized wheels. No questionable modifications. The more original the truck is, the fewer nightmares someone else created for you. These trucks came from the final era before the automotive industry fully transformed vehicles into controlled software platforms. Modern trucks are not built to be repaired forever. They are built to remain financially dependent on authorized service networks. The same strategy already transformed agriculture. Farmers today can own multi-million-dollar combines and still be locked out of repairing them, because diagnostic software is dealer-controlled. Automotive companies saw that model and copied it. Today, remote immobilization systems already exist in many modern vehicles. Certain fault codes on newer trucks require dealership-level subscription. Software just to access full diagnostics. But a 2002 Silverado does not report your driving behavior to a server. A 2001 F-250 with the 7.3 power stroke does not require online authorization to function. A 2014 Tundra does not need corporate permission for basic repairs. That difference matters. Financially, mechanically, and philosophically, because ownership used to mean control. Now it often means monthly payments tied to software restrictions. A clean GMT 800 Silverado bought for $9,000. Maintained properly, and driven another 100,000 miles, will likely cost less than 3 years of payments on a modern truck filled with systems designed to become obsolete. That is not nostalgia. That is math. And if you already own one of these trucks, Keeping it may be one of the smartest financial decisions you ever make. Because there is a difference between a machine built to last and a product designed to expire. These trucks were machines. Most modern trucks are products, and the industry knows exactly why that distinction matters. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe now, because next week, we are exposing what happened to travel trailers after manufacturers started cutting corners on frame construction, and why thousands of owners are discovering structural failures far earlier than anyone expected.